We are intelligent enough to understand where you are coming from. But if you have specific proposals, then it makes our work easier. Because we'll read it, bring in our own opinions, then we'll be moving forward.
Oh
yes, I know.
He's constrained by time. He would have done more.
They give you an insight into what the bill contains. Concerns have been raised. It is for you as a member of parliament to go and read.
No. If you're asking
for you to be fair.
I'll not be fair.
Honestly, for us as individuals to be able to, you could read it for a whole week. I don't know what is happening. Don't know what is happening.
You look at Uganda, or Africa for that matter, very blessed by God, generously blessed by God. You have everything that it takes to make man rich. We have the resources, we have all the minerals, we have gold, we have oil, name it. We have iron ore, name it. We have everything. So, but what are we getting out? What have we harvested? Our people, has it made a difference? Has our country turned into a paradise? No.
Most of the abuses in the management of resource wealth is in the area of contract negotiation.
If parliamentarians do not work to ensure that resources within the boundaries of the country are beneficial to the people they represent, people will lose trust with politicians, people will lose trust with parliamentarians, but also the country will not develop.
This matter must be brought on the table. It is a national resource. It is not somebody's resource.
The transparency of this document will tell us, we the stakeholders, we the citizens of this country, whether the government, who are our trustee to our natural resources, negotiated well and had a good deal.
We keep saying to ministers and to MPs, look, companies put a lot of money in having experienced and seasoned negotiators, lawyers, high-profile people to negotiate their side of the contract. So when you keep it away from us, when you keep it away from Ugandans who are technically competent, I mean, the whole country loses out.
The United States published the contract, and the contracts were on the net. I called the Deputy Minister of Energy, then I called the majority member in Parliament who is chairing the Parliamentary Committee on Energy. This is what has happened. The US has published our contracts. So the world is not yet aware of this. I think if government moves faster to also bring out these contracts, government will score higher marks. They were so happy.
It's not good for the companies. I mean, even business-wise, it's not good to work in that kind of environment, an environment where there is consistent suspicion and mistrust.
I think not revealing contracts and not revealing revenues is really an anachronistic lawyer kind of knee-jerk reaction. And really, I've never been able to understand why companies would want things not to be public. From a business perspective, it's been highly beneficial for us to be able to say, look, these are the terms under which your government is allowing us to exploit, the gold that's in the ground here.
We have one of the best mining laws now in the region, the Mines and Minerals Act, which was enacted in December of 2009. And civil society themselves agreed that yes, this is a step towards the right direction.
They did listen to us. That's the funny thing. They listened to us, they agreed with us in Parliament. Yes, we couldn't get everything on board into the Act, but at least some of the things that we wanted to see happen did take place in the Act.
It went through just like that, quick, couple of minutes, you will say. Everything in there was just bad. Everything, the agreement was just bad. It went against all of the principles of the Mines and Minerals Act.
So we had a donor meeting. Donors were in town. We knew there was a huge delegation where they wanted to make their mark. What we did as civil society was that the whole weekend I kept arranging meetings. So on that day we went to State House for the meeting. All of the donors were present. We went just to present our letter of protest about the way they run things. And the permanent secretary.
Yes, I recall that particular incident. And that was one time when we felt, oh, those guys are out to get us. Why do you bring a letter when all the donors are present? What are you trying to do? Oh, yes.
The hall was bitter.
Everybody was bitter,
yes,
including me. You come out at us when the people are watching, when the donor partners are watching. No. By the end of the day, we saw what they were driving at. We came to realize and appreciate that their approach was a good one for the country. The civil society has a role to play because sometimes they put pressure on our leaders to do the right things. I think their agitation led HE to give directive that some of those agreements should be revisited, which we all applauded, a decision which we all applauded. To be honest, there was something definitely wrong with those agreements, no doubt.
Just imagine you will ratify an agreement, even without it taking off, it was called for again for it to be reviewed. So it shows how collectively we can work as a team.
For a government to say they made a mistake and call back contracts and agreement they have approved is a huge, thing for us in civil society. I think it's a big gain, and we are proud of ourselves. But I think we need to do more.
Parliament can do a lot in terms of pushing government.
So far, so good. We never thought that we would achieve it. We never thought that we would make a government agree to making the production sharing agreements a public document.
Build networks, build friendships within the system. Those very people in the system who wish things to be moved in the right direction will give you the information. The technocrats in ministries who are not happy with the way things are going will give you information. They will give you documentary evidence. You can table it on the face of the minister and say, look, you authored this, true or false. There is no way he can run away.
Colleagues of mine, I forged a partnership of civil society organization with parliamentarians, and we came up with a parliamentary forum on oil and gas.
MPs said we are going to form ourselves into a committee, write a petition to the minister to demand for these agreements. Again, we organized another meeting, which was at Serena, and again the minister was there. We said, where are the agreements? He said the agreements are where? In Parliament. No, we said they are not there. All the MPs were there. He said we have never seen the agreements. So he said now we are going to allow the agreements to be given to all the MPs. Now the agreements are in where? In the Library of Parliament.
I consider that as a turning point, really, because it is that kind of collaboration and networking that we have seen things we thought that would be impossible, like accessibility to the production sharing agreement, that became very possible.
The Revenue Watch has been very critical in terms of saying, if we get these agreements, official copies, we are going to do a review of these agreements for you without you, the government of Uganda, paying any coin. We get experts, they review the agreements, and then you can be able to see whether you need to renegotiate with companies. Revenue Watch has been helping us to strengthen our capacity on contract transparency. I don't think in Uganda we are going to be looking at contract transparency as a level of getting the contracts per se. No, we are going to say getting contracts is just one aspect of a bigger strategy.
It is just a beginning. It is a positive thing that was born out of the pressure that was mounting.
There was this issue that, oh, it's the secret. I know, once we get it, it is in official documents, it's printed in our Hansard report, it's in the library, it's on the internet. I don't see how people say it's not in the public domain.
How available is it if only Parliament has it? And it's often in hard copies. That sometimes even among parliamentarians, and I've been a couple of sessions where even MPs argue that your side had it, my side didn't get it. How transparent are they?
No. If the document, look, listen. Don't tell us our job.
No, I'm talking about the general Ghanaian population.
Yes, but I'm saying a model petroleum agreement that comes for ratification is published fully in the Hansard, not just copies. Yes.
They are not published. The full agreement, petroleum agreement, they are not published.
I would say that it's just the fault of the clerks. I think it's something, if Parliament decides that the agreement itself should be published, that can be done. Unfortunately, the practice over the years has been that we normally just pick the committee's report. At the committee level, we tend to dwell so much on the memorandum, the small one, but the details are normally in the bigger one, and then we don't go into the final detail.
The question is, why aren't all of them published? Then it's a fault in our procedure. We don't do it, so it's our problem. It's not the public's problem. We don't do the right thing. That's the point I'm getting at. It is our fault.
Transparency is key to good governance. Accessibility to information, key to good governance.
There's so many voices which cannot come to the table to be heard. I'm an elected member of Parliament. I'm my people's representatives. I'm a spokesperson for my people. And therefore, behind me, I have a huge, comfortable pillar that I talk with confidence because that is what they're telling me to say.
So I ask parliamentarians all over the world to ensure transparency in extraction of resources and playing their oversight role as Parliament, making sure that the executive responds to the desires of the people in their country.